Hello, Sea Lion fans, and welcome to this latest edition of Cross Exam. Joining us today, we have senior women's soccer player Hailey Clifford and professor of theology Mark Mann. Mark Mann, take it away.
Thanks, Danny. Well, hello, everybody, and I have the blessing of talking to Hailey Clifford today, who is a wonderful student, one of my classes, so I'm really excited to be able to get to know a little bit more about her and others too as well. So Hailey, start with the basics. Where are you from? What are you studying at Point Loma? What year are you? You're a senior, I know that's where you're from, and what are you studying at Loma?
Yeah, so I'm from Salem, Oregon, and I'm studying applied health science.
You're studying what science?
Health.
Applied health. What are you hoping to do with that after you graduate?
Yeah, so my long-term goal is to be a physician assistant. So I'll go to a PA school after I graduate, and yeah, that's a 2-year program, and then hopefully I can be a physician assistant.
Are you hoping to stay here at Loma to do the degree?
It's an option. I mean, it's really competitive to get into PA school, so it's really wherever I can get in. But if I could stay here, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, knowing how good a student you are in my class, I don't have any hesitation believing you will get into a great program.
Thank you.
So I know obviously you're a soccer player, but so maybe that had part of what to do with it. But what brought you to Point Loma all the way from Salem, Oregon?
Yeah, so I am a transfer student. So I spent my first 2 years at University of Arizona playing soccer, and then decided that it wasn't really a good fit for me anymore. And soccer-wise, I just wasn't getting what I wanted out of the experience. So I decided to transfer. And then I found Point Loma because my old club teammate, Emma Hinson, we've played together all growing up. She had transferred the year before to Point Loma. And so I reached out to her, got in contact with Christy. And then from there, I knew I wanted to come here. So
it's Christy.
It actually worked out really well.
Who's Christy?
Christy's my coach, Christy Hailey.
Oh, you had known her from before. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah. So I knew our goalkeeper, Emma Hinson. I knew her from club, and then she was already going here. So I reached out to her. She got me in touch with the coach, Christy.
Gotcha. And so this is your second year at Point Loma then?
Yeah, this is my second year.
What has been your favorite thing about being at Loma?
Oh man, it's been really, really fun and refreshing to get what I wanted out of college soccer. So I think just being a part of a program where I have a role that matters, and not just in playing time, but in terms of like the way I interact.
So what's the situation now? You're practicing?
Yeah, so we are back on campus practicing in small groups so that we're limiting contact among the team. And then we are able to train within certain parameters while we wear our buffs. And then we can lift outside. We have our outdoor gym going on with Eric. And so we're able to lift as our small groups. But everything we do is within groups of like 6 or 7 girls so that we're not crossing over too much.
And do you feel like the practice has been, despite these limitations, it's been effective and helpful? Like you're growing as a team and improving?
Yeah, I mean, compared to the alternative, this is like best case scenario to be on campus and to be training as a group and have coaches telling us what to do and motivating us is, I think mentally too, it's just a huge bonus to feel like there's a schedule and there's certain things we need to show up to and accomplish every week. That's been really beneficial compared to being at home and trying to navigate everything on our own. So it's been really good.
What's the latest on the upcoming soccer season? When it's going to start and how all of that's going to work? Are you all going to be in a bubble for the whole season like NBA and NFL players are?
No, so as of now, there's not a lot of detail that I'm aware of, but from what I know, we're going to play some games in the spring that will they won't be competing for any type of championship really, but we'll be able to get some games in and compete if everything can go to plan. So right now we're obviously not in our normal season for the fall, but we're hoping to get something out of the spring where we're playing games as a full team.
So how do you feel about that? Your senior year, you don't have the opportunity to compete for a championship. How has that felt? I imagine not great.
It's a bummer. It's definitely not what I would have imagined and what a lot of like my teammates who are seniors would have imagined for their senior season. But I'm actually considering staying for a 5th season if things work out, just because I do really want to play that final senior season and just feel like I finished off soccer well and on a high point. And obviously COVID isn't really allowing that. So I'm definitely considering the 5th season. And so this may not be it for me, thankfully.
So if you stick around for a 5th season, that means you're sticking around for a 5th year or just one semester?
Regardless, I'll graduate this spring from my undergrad, but I might do a master's program.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Took the master's in the PA masters, you could continue to play.
Yeah, I don't know. PA school is really tough, so I think I would just probably do one of the kinesiology masters in the intermediate before PA school, just because you can't play soccer and go to PA school at the same time. It's just too hard.
That's just too much. That's just too much.
It's too much. But
so if you do stay around, is there a chance that I'll have you in another class?
Maybe if you're teaching in the kinesiology master's program.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't, so that's not going to happen. So.
Maybe not.
So, but in your master's of kinesiology class, you don't want to take any theology classes? I mean, what's wrong?
If it's in the curriculum, I don't know.
Okay.
It could
All right.
happen.
So I have 2 questions left, and then I know you get to ask a question. The first question I have, they're both related to my class, right? We always we try to spend a lot of time talking about things we're grateful for in the class, right, as a way of kind of setting the mood for the discussions and that kind of thing. So tell me the thing that you're most grateful about for having come to Loma.
Oh man, there's a lot. I mean, truly when I say like my transfer couldn't have gone any better, like I feel so blessed to be in a space where I'm academically supported. I'm supported through soccer. I feel like I have a really good social atmosphere going on where I feel like I have a community here. So overall, I think I'm thankful for those factors. I mean, it's hard to pick one, but just for being able to transfer somewhere and not feel like I missed out on anything that I wanted when I was switching schools.
That's great. That's great. I'm super glad to hear that. That's what all of us who work at Point Loma, we want to hear from our students. And lastly, what is the most important thing or the most significant thing or the most surprising thing, whatever, that you have learned in my class? Or if before there's like 20 different things you want to talk about, you can do that too, but you could just.
Yeah. Okay, I have one. First, to call you Mark and not Dr. Mann. That's the most key thing you learn in your class up front. And then, not the most key, but that's the first thing you learn.
Okay.
And then, secondly, I mean, this last week we dove a little bit into social justice and how that overlaps with Christianity and how we can apply Christianity to social justice issues. So I've really enjoyed diving into that a little bit more, just finding where Christianity can be sometimes used as an oppressive thing, but also a way to lift people up and to find how we can utilize that to address social justice has been really interesting to me. So that's been a fun thing we've talked about.
Oh, good. And we're in our next class session, which is in about 15 minutes. We're going to dive more into that. All right, great. Well, you have a question for me.
Yeah, I actually have a fun question. So I know you played basketball in college, correct?
Yep.
And so I was wondering, do you think your college team could beat Point Loma men's basketball?
Now or ever?
Let's say now.
Well, definitely not now, because we were a Division III school, and so we didn't have scholarships. So we weren't the same level. But I can tell you, my sophomore year, the fall of 1987, we actually came out for Point Loma's homecoming, and we played here.
Oh.
And and of course, the Point Loma team was also scholarshiped then. I played at Eastern Nazarene College, which is another Nazarene college. It's in Boston, very small school. It's about 700 or 800 students. So yeah, we were invited to come out here and play in the fall of '88 against Point Loma at homecoming. And we got creamed. I think the final score, I think, was 90-50. Our star player, who broke a record, I mean, he was definitely our star player, by far the best. He ended up shooting like 2 for 19 from three-point land or something like that. I was our second leading scorer, and I only had 9 points. It was really bad. 90-50, I think. And I can remember going down afterwards, because we were staying in a little hotel down in Point Loma as well. I remember going down to the Denny's afterwards, after the game, and just feeling like life was coming to an end. I was so embarrassed. I was so discouraged. And, you know, one of the funny things is that when I came to Point Loma 12 years ago to work, I was going through there in an office next to mine, kind of a lounge room or a meeting room. There was a whole pile of yearbooks. And I was curious to see, to go through and see some of the yearbook pictures from the late 80s when I was a student. And lo and behold, there were pictures of that game in the yearbook, because it was homecoming, and there is a picture of me in the 1987-88 Point Loma yearbook, and on a team that is getting spanked by the Point Loma team. So that is a long answer. The point is, no, we would not match up well. We did not match up well then. We would not match up well today.
Okay,
so thank you for just like ripping open an old.
Right. I didn't know what I was getting into.
I mean, it's really interesting. Like, there's not many people like me who didn't go to Point Loma who can say they're in the Point Loma yearbook. So
yeah,
everybody out there can go and look that up. Maybe, Danny, you can find a copy of that picture and post it somewhere. Okay. Well, Hailey, great. I really have enjoyed having you in my class, and that's why I suggested to Danny that this might be a fun thing to do. And thanks for sharing everything. And I'm really glad you've been a part of our community the last couple of years. And I hope you come back next year so that you can, so we can come see you play out your last season and help bring us home a national championship. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks for doing this. This was fun.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. Bye.